In the ancient seas of what will one day become Morocco, a fusiform body swims past. Beneath the skin, an armoured skull encases the body, from the head to the thorax, while a shark-like caudal fin extends from the tail. It's a member of the iconic Arthrodires, the group of armor-plated fish to which the famous Dunkleosteus belongs. This fish is much smaller than its cousin, however, being only around 87 centimeters long. This is Amazicthes, and, though it could have never known it, its fossil will go on to become one of the most important for our understanding of Arthrodires. Hello and welcome to the Goodricthes channel. I'm Goodricthes, and today we're going to discuss the Selenosteids, a group of Arthrodire placoderms. Would it be Arthrodire? I don't know. Arthrodire sounds better to me personally, so I'll just go with that. The Selenosteids are a clade of Arthrodire placoderms. I'm unable to find any papers that list their time of origin. However, I'm unaware of any Selenosteids older than the Fresnian stage, the first of the two stages in the Late Devonian. There are several different features that characterize the Selenosteids, of which the most robust is the angle between the postorbital and otic branches of the infraorbital sensory line groove, which I'm fairly certain means something along the lines of the angle between the two parts of the sensory line that goes under the eye. A large orbit is also a characteristic of this group, although it, or the traits associated with it, are apparently a lot more common among other groups of Arthrodires than the previously mentioned trait. Within Arthrodira, the Selenosteids are nested within the group Brachythoraci, which, if my knowledge of Greek serves correct, should mean something along the lines of thick-boned forms. Within Brachythoraci, there are two major groups, Selenothoraci and Dunkleosteoidea. This was disputed by a 2013 paper, which itself was disputed by a 2016 paper. Selenosteid belongs to the first of these two groups, Selenothoraci, along with Dinichthyes hertzi and Heterostiidae rapax, two of the coolest names for any prehistoric animal in my opinion. The layout of the Selenosteid family tree changes wildly between study to study, though there are a few general trends. For example, the Moroccan genus Droscolaspis is typically placed rather basally, close to the base of the family tree, and the genera Gymnotrachulus, Heinzichthyes, and Gorgonichthyes usually form a clade near the base of the tree. A 2011 paper found that the Moroccan and European Selenosteids formed a sister clade to the North American Selenosteids, with the exception of Brachythoraci. However, more recent studies have found that the European/Moroccan and American species to be more widely dispersed throughout the family tree. Full Arthrodire skeletons are quite rare, making any skeletons found extremely important for understanding their anatomy. Fortunately, within the armored halls of Selenosteidae, there exists such a fossil, or rather, several. These belong to the nearly meter-long Moroccan species Amazicthes trinagesticae, I think, something like that, named for the Amazigh. I think that's how it's pronounced. I don't know. Sorry if I mispronounced that. People of North Africa, and for the Australian researcher Kate Trinajastic. Several specimens of the species were collected, including two with preserved body outlines. The anatomy of these specimens indicate that Amazicthes was an active swimmer in open waters, and seems to have possessed a structure similar to the lateral keel used by some modern fish to generate thrust, indicating it was likely rather fast. The same regions that have yielded the Amazicthes specimens, the Maida and Tafilalt basins, have also yielded the remains of another, far more unusual Selenosteid, the wonderfully bizarre Alienacanthus. This species was initially described off the basis of what were once believed to be fin spines, but are now understood to be part of the lower jaw. As it would turn out, this lower jaw was in fact rather unusual, being twice the length of the rest of the skull, an even greater difference in the length of the lower jaw and upper jaw than other animals with similar underbites. The most likely use of Alienacanthus's lower jaw was in prey capture, potentially being used to strike prey like a modern swordfish. For more information on the species, I recommend you check out Henry the Paleo Guy's video on Alienacanthus. Another notable member of the clade Selenosteidae is Gorgonichthyes. It was a contemporary of the famous Dunkleosteus tyrrellii, and like Dunkleosteus, it was rather large, with a lower jaw of similar length to its more famous cousin. Tests done on the lower jaws of both Dunkleosteus tyrrellii and Gorgonichthyes have found that the lower jaws of juvenile Dunkleosteus would have experienced less stress than those of Gorgonichthyes, though, curiously, adult Dunkleosteus seem to have had higher stress in their lower jaws than juveniles, which is a whole other story for a different day. This indicates that juvenile Dunkleosteus were better capable of dealing with higher bite forces than Gorgonichthyes, which I, personally, think might be evidence of niche partitioning, different species specializing for different lifestyles to avoid competing with each other. Surprisingly, despite the species' popularity online, I can't find all that much on it that is both recent and actually feasibly accessible to me. Seriously, Russell Engerman wasn't lying when he said that there is hardly anything in these creatures' paleobiology. Well, that concludes this video on the Selenosteids. If you want to go even further in this subject, or if you just want to verify my credibility, there's a list of sources in the description. Goodbye.